Hello, welcome to movement number 12, 13, and 14 in the T'ai Chi Chih series. These movements are the variations on basic pulling taffy. So we have variation 1, anchor step, variation number 2, wrist circles, and variation number 3, perpetual motion. So we're going to start with variation 1, anchor step. And let me show you what it looks like. I'll be mirroring you, so I will be stepping out with what is your left foot. I'm going to wind up. This is anchor step. And I'm going to turn my foot. Actually, I'm going to step back a little so I can make sure that you can see my feet as well. I'm in the resting pose. I'm going to wind up that familiar taffy position, but I'm going to put my front foot out a little bit pigeon-toed, so that if I drew a line between the toes of both my feet, they'd meet eventually. If you have knee issues, be really careful here. You can adjust any way you need to. I'm going to shift my weight forward and then come back. My back heel stays on the ground as I'm doing this. And then regular taffy to the left. Forward right with that same pigeon-toed position, and then side right. So the anchor, the back heel is the anchor, and the front foot steps forward. This pigeon-toed position allows for a very powerful torque, actually untwisting of the dantian. So you're winding up and you're untwisting. When you step out, I'll use my hands as an example, you don't want to step out over the big toe of the other foot so that this foot is like blocking that foot. That's too much of a turn. You want to just slightly turn like this so that there's still, maybe you don't come past the arch of the back foot, the anchoring foot. So let's try this again. Actually, let's just do it with our feet. So we're going to wind up from the dantian, step forward with your left foot, look down and make sure that there's that sort of pigeon-toed action as your knees allow. And then you're going to come forward and you can feel the untwisting, the feet stay flat the whole time, of the dantian. And then pause. And then we do a regular taffy to your left, regular side step. Now we're going to go forward with your right foot. Forward, untwist, sink, and then step side, right. So it is helpful to have a piece of tape both vertically and horizontally so that we can kind of make sure that when we're stepping out, we're not stepping too far over across the other foot so that the torquing becomes uncomfortable. So here we are. Remembering, if we need to, that we can still tap and brush our hands to get our remembering of our body to cue the palm up hand. So let's go through that again. Tap, brush. That allows for me to wind up, step forward, slightly pigeon-toed, and you might be able to see Fergus the cat who's wandering through the screen right now. Tap, brush, side, left, check, pull across, tap, brush, forward. It's snowing right now outside. It's very quiet and beautiful. And Fergus likes to go outside on his leash. There he is. So tap, brush, pigeon toe, back heel stays down, coming forward. Again, left. Brush, side right. And with the hip swivel, we'll do this third set, tap, brush, pigeon-toed, back heel stays down, wind up. I'm going to untuck to the back, as well as laterally shift and waist twist. Forward right foot, back heel stays down. And then I'm going to tuck to include the waist, the hip swivel, as well as the waist twist. That means tuck the pelvis. Please watch Carry the Ball to the Side for that really sort of more thorough part 2. Carry the Ball to the Side has a lot of references to the hip swivel in these lateral movements. So that was anchor step. Now let's look at wrist circles. Variation 2 of the Taffy's wrist circles. And it looks like this. So here I am in the resting pose. I'm going to push through, and then I'm going to come up on the toes as my hands circle over, down. 2, that's the second wrist circle, and then there's a third partial circle as I wind up, step, pull across. Top hand, palm down to the earth, bottom hand, palm up to the sun. Pause, push through, up, up, sink. There's a third partial circle, step, pull across, hands pass over that first leg as you're going to the right. So let's work with the hands on this one, just so you really get that third circle in the wind up. You will not likely be able to pause and brush on this one to help remind you, so by this time it's a good challenge to try to do it without tapping and brushing. So here we are, you're in the resting pose. So we're not going to worry about the legs, but sink, release your wrists, and really feel that absolute release right here. And then fingertips point up, and then release. Staying close to the body, close to the hips. This is just a wrist movement. And then there's this third one. Comes around as the hands come into place. Hands pull across, palm to palm. I'm always aware of that polarity connection. And then pause. And then going back the other direction, push through, up, release the wrists completely, up, release the wrists completely, and then there's a third circle as I wind up, and I'm going to pull across. Excellent. So now let's do this. Here we go. Push through. 1, 2, and then wind up that third circle, step and check, pull across, palm to palm, midpoint, you're double weighted in your weight shift, continue going to your left. Hi! Push through, 1, okay, 2, he just got up from his nap. And pull across. Pause. 1, 2, sink, third circle, step and pull. Pause, push through, up, wind up. All these things to be aware of. Take your time, enjoy. Feel the bottoms of the feet. Let's do one more set. This is variation number 2, wrist circles. Wind up. 1 to your left. Pause. And breathe. Wind up. Waist twist. Take a breath. Focus on the bottoms of the feet. Great. Excellent. And now for variation 3, perpetual motion. Variation 3 of the taffy movements. This is the last variation. So starting in the resting pose as always, just watch for a moment. I'm going to do 2 sets and then we'll break it down and do it together. So similar to all the other taffies, we step out with the Tai Chi step, pull across, and then we bring our right leg in, your right leg, because I'm mirroring just a little bit, switch our hand position, and then pull across again. Pick up, put down, pull across. Pick up, put down, touching with the heel first, pull across. Let me do one more. I know I said I'd do 2, but pick up, put down, pull. Bottom hand curves under, top hand comes over. And then pause. So that was 3 sets. But let's work on the hands together and then we'll add the legs. So if you're just standing in the resting pose, to initiate, as we've been doing before, you're very welcome as you're still learning these movements to tap the bottom of your the palm of your left hand, brush, wind up. That tells you the direction that your fingers are pointing in. Top hand comes on top. And then we're just going to pull across. And then this hand, your right hand, is going to curve under as your body, it's almost like the dantian, pulls this hand under as your body turns to the left. Top hand comes on top. Same thing, shifting across, dantian turning, pulling now the left hand under. Palm to palm, the turn pulls the top hand to turn palm up. Always being aware of that polarity or palm to palm connection as the palms pass. We'll do one more set to the left. This will be to your left. I'm mirroring you. And then back to your right. And turn over the top hand. Okay. Then to practice the leg movements, we'll start with our feet in a V, that loose V, comfortable for your body. Sink, wind up, sink into your right leg, step side left, and check to make sure that your feet are equal angled, and then shift across, waist twist, and then pick up the right foot, bring it in a little bit, just so that the stance is slightly more narrow, and then shift back. Waist twist, pick up, put down, shift. Pick up, put down. So you'll notice that I'm not straightening my leg to pick it up, to pick up the other one. I'm staying low at that moving level as if I'm gliding across a piano bench. Pick up, put down. And then if you want to incorporate the hip swivel that is included in any of these lateral movements, you can untuck your bottom to the back, to the left, waist twist, pick up, put down, tuck. Tuck your bottom under, under, pick up, put down, untuck to the back. Tuck. One more. The hip swivel, aside, there's the lateral, and then there's the hip swivel. Bring in your foot. The hip swivel is something that you can continue to incorporate into all of these movements, which we will address again in a consolidation practice that includes the taffies, where I address the hip swivel. So here we go with the hands. Take a breath, feel the bottoms of your feet. And really luxuriate in that simplicity of the awareness of the pressure of the feet on the floor and the breath. And that anchoring feeling, that connection to the earth. Great. So we'll do 6 sets of Perpetual Motion Taffy, or Variation 3 Perpetual Motion. So tap your left hand. We start on the left. That reminds you to brush. Fingers point in the direction that you wind up. And now step out with your left foot. Come across. Pick up. Bring your foot in just a little, only on this one. So that was 1 set. Pick up. Top hand, the right hand comes under. Left hand comes on top. Feel your feet and breathe. That's good. Untuck to the back. Waist twist. Tuck to the front. Waist twist. Untuck your bottom to the back. Just a little bit. If you want to do the hip swivel fully, tuck your bottom under. And we'll do 1 more set. I think that was 6. But if it was 7, you get an extra. There we go. And then bring in the left foot, turn over the right hand. And everything sinks, and take a breath. Great. And breathe again.